Now I will share my screen. Huh?
Yes, ma'am, you can share, ma'am.
1 minute. Now it is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible, ma'am.
And please tell me it's scrolling.
Yes, ma'am, it's scrolling, ma'am.
Okay. Now it's scrolling, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay.
Ma'am, shall we begin the session, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
I'm waiting from your side.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Good evening, all. Thank you.
Ma'am,
for- Yeah.
we'll have a welcome address, ma'am, and then we can start, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. No problem. I thought I can start.
Okay, ma'am.
Now screen will be like this only, na?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And
Okay.
here some messages are coming. Admit.
Ma'am, it's okay, ma'am. We'll just a minute, ma'am. We'll just ask the technical team to clear it.
Yeah.
Shall we begin, ma'am?
Yeah. Yeah.
Learning is the beginning of wealth. Learning is the beginning of health. Learning is the beginning of spirituality. Having a heart to start to learn is where the miracle process all begin. Good evening, everyone. With great joy and immense pleasure, I extend my warm welcome to all dignitaries, guests, and delegates present here for the Dr. Sudhir Raj N Memorial Free Webinar Series organized by DIKSHA E-Learning in association with Ayurveda College, Coimbatore, under the banner of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. In today's session, we'll be discussing about concepts of dietetics in Ayurveda while planning a diet chart by Dr. Mrudul C ma'am. Before starting the session, I would like to go through few of the basic instructions to be followed throughout the session. For uninterrupted class session, use laptop with high-speed internet connection. Please make sure your microphone is on mute to have a disturbance-free session. In case of any disruption, please check your internet connection firstly, and if the problem is within our network connection, kindly raise the issue in the chat box. Filling your full name to be displayed is appreciated. Any question can be raised, posted in the chat box. Question raised will be cleared at the end of the session. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Ankush, Assistant Professor, Department of Swasthavrita, Ayurveda College, Coimbatore, to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today's topic, important concepts of dietetics in Ayurveda while planning diet chart, is taken over by Dr. Mrudul C ma'am, Associate Professor, Department of Swasthavrita and Yoga, D.Y. Patil University of Ayurveda, Nehru, Navi, Mumbai. I extend my hearty welcome to you, ma'am, on behalf of DIKSHA E-Learning as well as Ayurveda College, Coimbatore, and the Department of Swasthavrita. And also, I welcome each and everyone who are a part of this auspicious evening session by ma'am. And we all know that the dietetics is an important area that we have to be focused upon during these times. So I extend my warm regards to all and also welcome you all to this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Mrudul Y. Chitrakam ma'am. Dr. Mrudul Yashwant Chitrakam ma'am is currently working as Associate Professor, Department of Swasthavrita at D.Y. Patil University, School of Ayurveda. Ma'am holds a postgraduate degree in clinical research and also in DNYS. She has 14 publications in international journal, including PubMed and Scopus. Ma'am has delivered 20 guest lectures and has presented various papers in international and national seminars. We are extremely privileged to have you here in this platform, ma'am. Now, without any further ado, we'll turn the time over to respected Dr. Mrudul C ma'am to enlighten our minds with her knowledge. Over to you, ma'am.
Thanks, ma'am. Thanks for the organizing team also, and thanks for your kind introduction. Now, today's topic is important concept of dietetics in Ayurveda while planning the diet chart. And we know to maintain the health of healthy people and to cure the disease of a diseased person, diet plays a very important role. And diet planning in Ayurveda, for every disease, it's a very important for us. But while planning the diet Ayurveda, we must know the basic concepts. Being supported by three factors, we know the Trayopastambhas, that is Ahara, Nidra, and Brahmacharya. The body is endowed with strength, complexion, and growth, and continuous up till the full span of life. Provided a person does not indulge in such regimen, it is injurious to our health. The reality is food acts like a medicine if taken in a right quantity, right time, and in a right combination. We know the definition of ahar according to Shushu Chikitsastan. Ahara prinana sadyo balakruda dehakarakaha ayus tejas samutsaha smrutyojo agni vivardhana. That is, food restores the vigorous, gives the strength immediately after taking. It sustains the body, increases the span of life, happiness, memory, power, ojas, and the digestive power. Now, the Ayurveda does not discriminate food to be good or bad. Instead, it highlights the various factors that influence the food. That factors that influence the food are biological properties of food, such as heavy, light, and oily. Then, origin of food. That is, from the plant origin or from the animal origin. Then environmental factors, preparation of food, freshness of food, wrong cooking procedures, then irregular timing, consuming imbalanced and non-congenial food, not following the prescribed rules for preparing, preserving, and eating food may also cause the imbalance of the health. With this, it is also important, that is the characteristics of food. Ayurveda states that a diet can be vegetarian or it may be a non-vegetarian. Describe the characteristics of food in terms of quality, quantity, and the time we vary with age, constitution, that is dosh, digestive power, that is Agni Bala, season, disease, and from person to person. One has to consume the diet which is suitable in all aspects, as well as the portion size should be customized for each individual according to one's own need, and a deviation from these may cause the disease. Means diet may be different for every person according to Ayurveda. Now, the very basic concept in that the nutrition dynamics in Ayurveda, that is Agni, Jatharagni, Dhatwagni, and Bhutagni, that is from macro to micro level. The metabolic phenomenon, that is Agni, these are the 13 factors of digestion, nutrition, and the metabolism. Then Jatharagni, that is transformation at GIT level. First one will be, that is food digestion in the stomach and gastrointestinal tract, that is GIT, is initiated by major Jatharagni, and this can be equated with enzymes, hormones, and secretions of digestion. Dhatwagni, that is transportation, selection at the tissue level, that is nutrition and tissue metabolism is carried out by 7 Dhatwagnis at various tissues of the body. And third will be the Bhutagni, that is regulation of micronutrition at organ level, that is very highly selective, that is microdigestion and biotransformation at cellular, subatomic and elemental level is carried out by the Bhutagnis at the gene level. Now, theories of metabolism, according to this again, from macro to micro, the transformative process in GIT and tissue level is according to the Kshiradadhi Nyaya. The transformation process on the tissue and organ level, that is nutrition dynamics according to the Kedara Kulya Nyaya. Then selective process on the organ level is according to the Khale Kapota Nyaya, and regulation of metabolism on the molecular level, that is micro gene level, that is Ekakala Dhatu Poshana Siddhanta. We can talk on every slide, but these today we will see only the basic concepts, and we must know while planning the diet. We should think on that. Now, the Shadrasas and Panchabhuta. We know the Panchabhuta theory. Any material in the universe, according to Ayurveda, is comprised of 5 basic elements: Pindete, Brahmande, and the Pancha Mahabhutas, including human body and the food. Planning and nourishing the diet balance these elements, maintain the homeostasis of the body. The food contains 6 basic tastes. Each taste has predominance of particular element of Pancha Mahabhutas, that is Shadras and the Pancha Mahabhut. Here, the biological factors, that is the doshas, controlling and balancing taste and aggravating aggravating taste. Here in this table, that is Vata, that is a neurological phenomenon. Controlling or balancing tastes are sweet, sour and salty, that is Madhur, Amla and Lavana, and aggravating are Kattu, Tikta and Kashaya. Pitta, that is biochemical phenomenon and the metabolism, that is Kashaya, Tikta and Madhura, and aggravating Amla and Kattu. Kapha, immunity, this is the immunity, that is qualitative and quantitative perfection and integration of the tissues, that is Kattu. Controlling doshas, controlling tastes are Kattu, Tikta and Kashaya, and aggravating taste as Madhura and Amla. Now, the biological activity. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're audible, ma'am.
Biological activity and nutritional impact of different tastes of food, that is a sweeter, sour and astringent mainly, that is tissue nourishing is a sweet and nourishing, wound healing as well as the galactobacillus. And sour taste is nourishing and promoting the cardioprotective, and astringent is a wound healing. Now, when we see the healthy food, which is a healthy food, when we consider we want to take a healthy food, we should first think about the spatial. It should be a spatially processed. It should be good for health, endowed with good taste, smell and touch, pleasing to mind, clean. It should be not very hot, and it should be freshly prepared. So it will be a healthy food. Now, the dietetics, nutrition and the nutraceuticals. For healthy diet planning, we must have the knowledge of what is diet, nutrition and the nutraceuticals. We can call it as a Ayurvedics. We can use herbs as well as the rasayana dravyas in the diet planning also. So the diet is the food that person habitually eats, and the dietetics refers to planning of meal for the well and sick. Nutrition is a food that our body need to consume daily to function optimally, and nutrition implies to food and its relation with the health. And nutraceuticals, referred to as a phytochemical or a functional food, are neural bioactive chemical compounds, have health promoting, disease preventing, and the medicinal properties. Nutrition is what we need, all the right nutrients, and diet is how we get it, the food we eat to attain the nutrients. Means to attain the nutrient, we take a diet. According to Ayurveda, there is a we called it as a anna ahara, and third important concept in Ayurveda is a pathya vyavastha. So whenever patient comes to us, we always write the pathya and apathya. So, but we should give him or the individual that the whole diet chart, and by taking a diet recall. We will see in our next slides. The anna is a food taken in a proper quantity, provides the strength, vigor, good complexion, and nurtures the health of the tissues. Ayurveda places special emphasis on ahar and anna, and believes that healthy nutrition nourishes the mind, body, and the soul. Ahar is an entire intaking material which is taken by mouth into alimentary system, which is a long run after proper digestion, get transformed into the tissue element and do the functions such as promotion of growth, recovery of loss, protection from the disease, and from this sake the body is survive. And pathya vyavastha is nothing but the help of anya and ahar, that is a planning of proper diet. Whenever we consider the health and the disease, whenever patient comes to us, the three important factors while dealing with health and disease comprises are: first one is the aushadha, that is drug and therapy. Second is ahara, and third is a vihara. As a in a swastha rutta, we always think about the ahar and vihar whenever patient or a healthy individual comes to us. Now, what is a Ayurvedic approach while treating the or the and on the prevention and the health promotion? That is, whenever patient or healthy individuals, we think about the person. First thing is a nidana parivarjanam. Yes, whatever the hetus of that disease, that should be nidana parivarjanam. Then pathya vyavastha. The second will be the panchakarma if needed. Then sanshamana, that is a simple therapy and a pathya vyavastha. We should think in these four ways. Now, the categorization of ahar, that is ahar, it may be a wholesome, that is hitahar or ahitahar. Again, pathya, apathya, that is adaptable and non-adaptable, and compatible and incompatible. In a viruddhahar, we should think about the compatible diet and incompatible diet. And one concept in Ayurveda is again satmya, that is we are habitual with that diet. Ayurveda always emphasize on the material or the quality of the food. Then second important thing is the selection of food and the rules for the healthy eating. Whenever we think about the dietetics in Ayurveda, the material and selection of food, the third thing is very, very important. That is rules for a healthy eating. And that is a unique concept of dietetics in Ayurveda. You know, the principles of Dietetics according to Ayurveda, that is rules of healthy eating. According to Charak Vimansthan, Ashta Ahara Vidhi Visheshaitanani, that is 8 attributes related to eat food that we know. Then Sapta Kalpana Vishesha. 8 attributes are Prakriti, Karana, Rashi, Desha, Kala, Upayokta, and Upayog Samstha. That is qualitative characteristics of food, processing of food, mixing of food, the Sarvagraha and Parigraha, that is quantity, Rashi, habitat of the person, then time and seasonal variation, variable digestibility of various food articles, and the person who takes the food. Second is according to Ashtanga Sangraha Sutra Sthan, that is a Sapta Kalpana Vishesha. That is 7 factors of dietetics. These are Swabhava, then Sanyoga, then Samskara, Matra, Desha, Kala, and Upayoga Vyavastha. Swabhava, that is a, yes? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You're audible, ma'am.
Swabhava means the nature of food. It is also called as a Prakriti. Sanyoga is a mixing of 2 or more substances. Samskara, that is Toyagni Sannikarsha. Matra is a quantity. Desh refers to both where the food is grown, whereas the Upayokta, user. And Kal refers to both season and the stage of the disease. And Upayoga Vyavastha is a manner of taking food. Third one will be a Ahara Vidhi Vidhan. This is also very important rules for food intake. It is explained in Charak Vimanasthan, chapter 1, that is the Ushna, Snigdha, Parimana, Bhojana, then Jirna Ananta Bhojana, then Virya Viruddha, then Ishad Deshe. These are the, again, the 12 Dwadashasan Pravichar, 12 kinds of food administration. These are 11 rules for the food intake. That is, food should be warm and freshly prepared. Eat food which is not roasted, hard to eat and dry to eat. Then adequate quantity, neither less or more. Eat only when the food taken is digested. Do not take food which is incompatible. Eat at a suitable and a pleasant place. Avoid eating too fast, avoid eating too slow, eating silently, paying total attention while you take the food. Food must be chosen according to individual's health status. These are the rules for food intake. And Dwadashasan Pravichar according to Shushut Uttarsthana. That is a Shita Guna Ahar, for whom which type of ahar is suitable. It is explained in a Dwadashasan Pravichar. That is a Shita Guna, Ushna Guna, Snigdha Guna, Ruksha Guna up to the Vrityartha. That is for the healthy person and for the diseased person or unhealthy person, we can say. And Viruddhahar, that is a unique concept in Ayurveda. Now, these are some rules while taking the food. Just the sequence of food consuming, time of consuming the food, sweet, sour. First take the sweet, then sour and salty, then bitter, astringent and pungent. Many rules are explained in Charak Samhita. Then the dietary discipline in Ayurveda. Dietary discipline, it is for the we know the whenever we treat the patient or whenever we give the diet to the patient, we always think about the holistic way. That is, Ayurveda approach is always a holistic approach. So the dietary discipline according to Ayurveda, we can say it is a tanmana bhunjit. Then desha satnya, है ना, मन को प्रसन्न करने वाला होना चाहिए. Then देश सात्म्य, हित भूक and मीत भूक, काल भोजी and healthy food. This is very important dietary disciplines explained in Ayurveda. Then whenever we plan the diet in Ayurveda, our approach of the treatment or approach of any treatment, or we can say now here as an approach of a diet plan, that is a pro nature approach, a holistic approach, and a personalized approach. Yes, the pro nature Ayurveda explain about the system of eating food, that is eating food covering, that is physiological, qualitative, quantitative, social, spiritual, emotional, and psychological, environmental aspect. All from this all aspect we should think about the diet as well as the planning of the diet for the patient as well as for the healthy individual. Now, very important concept. This is also a unique concept in Ayurveda, that is a pathya, that is prophylactic and therapeutic aspect of Ayurvedic dietetics. Pathya is a ahar which is congenial to the tissues of body and relished by the person. That is, which keeps the person, pathya keeps the person healthy, maintains the normal body functions, leads to proper functioning of the organs, then nourishes the mind and intellect, prevents the diseases, at the same time corrects the irregularities that may occur in the body. So the Pathya Kalpana is a very important aspect of Ayurvedic diet. The Pathya, it's a prophylactic and therapeutic aspect. Whenever the wholesome diet, that is prophylactic and promotive nutrition, while advocacy of specific diet in disease condition, that is clinical nutrition, is always done. When, which is characteristics of holistic Ayurvedic approach, means we should plan the diet for the healthy person. Again, healthy person age wise, that is from neonates, then children, youngsters, aged people, age wise difference may be there, but these are all the healthy individuals. But the all according to the stages of the life. Then the clinical nutrition according to disease specific. Yes, the disease-specific pathya, wholesome diet foods to be consumed, and apathya, unwholesome diet should be avoided, are also explained in various classical texts. According to disease-wise diet is also explained in Ayurvedic ancient text. Now, the three important factors we should be studied thoroughly before starting the treatment according to Yoga Ratnakar, that is etiology of the disease, drug treatment, and pathya. Means wherever there is a disease, pathya or diet comes first in Ayurveda. Only pathya also can cure the disease, but one who does not follow the pathya cannot be cured by the use of the hundreds of drugs. And in all diseases, apathya should be avoided because apathya is predisposing factor for the various diseases and helps in fast progression of the pathophysiology. So, pathya kalpana is a very, very important in a diet planning. Now, the description given in a different sanhitas about the pathya, that is according to Yoga Ratnakar, pathya followed regularly for healthy individuals is irrespective of disease condition. Means irrespective of disease condition, according to your prakriti, according to the season, according to the age, according to your occupation, you should follow the pathya. And according to Charkacharya and Vagbhatacharya, the Sada Pathyam and Sada Apathyam concept is explained, and Charak Samhita and Shushu Samhita and Ashtanga Sangraha, disease specific pathya and the disease specific pathya are explained. There are detailed description about them in other texts like Sharangdar Samhita, Pathya Pathya Vibodhika, and Bhaishajya Ratnavali and the Chakradatta. We just saw about the Satma, that is habituation. We know our body is used to certain type of food. And whenever we plan the diet, we must know the Satmya of that person. Yes, if he is Satmya, the person is Satmya with that, we should consider these things while planning the diet. And we must never make an attempt to change our diet suddenly from non-vegetarian to vegetarian, or suddenly jump on the microbiotic or any other type of diet. And it is not possible, or it cannot be followed by the person. Yes, Ayurveda has advised that even if we want to change from bad qualities to good qualities, that also must be done in step by step. Yes, in addiction, we are doing the same. Then daily indicated and daily contraindicated ahar explained in Ayurveda. We know the Shashtika rice, mudga, rock salt, amalki, rainwater before falling on the ground, ghee, meat of animals dwelling in arid climate, and the honey. These are the daily indicated ahar, and above mentioned routine dietetic is no doubt wholesome and possess all types of food values. And you can give this type of means these food articles in your pathya chart or in your diet planning, and you must avoid the daily contraindicated ahar. And some exceptions are there, but dried meat, dry vegetables, lotus stalk, that is boiled buttermilk, then kilata, that is specific milk, then pork, fish with curd, then black gram, yavaka, variety of some vulgar yavaka is a type of shali. Then heavy food such as cakes, then unboiled rice and curd is a forbidden in night also. That is a daily contraindicated ahar. We should avoid it while planning the diet. Then viruddha ahar means the ahar which causes the visheshan of doshas from its sthana, but doesn't remove it from the body, but makes them accumulate in dhatus and thus causing the diseases. Just now we have seen that whenever we plan the diet, we should remove the hetus. The main hetus are the viruddha ahar. Viruddha ahar is of 18 types. We know that is Desha Viruddha, Kala, Agni Viruddha, then Matra Viruddha, Satme Viruddha, Dosha, Samskara, Virya, Koshta, Avastha, Krama Viruddha, Parihara Viruddha, Upachara Viruddha, then Pak Viruddha, Sanyog Viruddha, then Rudaya Sampata Viruddha and Vidhi Viruddha. These are the 18 types of Viruddha are explained in Charak Samhita. Again, one important thing is whenever we plan the diet, we must know some modern dietetics rules, because on the international level or whenever we are getting all the nutrients according to the modern dietetics, you must know some rules of the modern dietetics and recommended dietary regulations. Which are they? We should follow that. In that, again, the diet and nutrition, the particular selection of food, especially as designed or prescribed to improve a person's physical condition or treat the disease. According to modern science, this is the definition of diet, and nutrition is the process of obtaining the food necessary for health and the growth, a guide to good nutrition. Nutrition is a science that interprets the nutrients and other substances in food in relation to maintenance, growth, reproduction, health, disease of an organism, and it includes the ingestion, absorption, assimilation, biosynthesis, catabolism, and the excretion. So, food is any nutritious substance that people or animal eat or drink, or that plant absorb or order to maintain the life or the growth. And nutrients are the substance that provides the nourishment essential for maintenance of life and for growth. The difference between food and nutrient is that nutrients are the composite part of different types of food, and nutrients are present in food. And nutrient requirement is a minimum amount of absorbed nutrient that is necessary for maintaining the normal physiological function of the body. Then we must know the diet standards according to the modern nutrition and dietetics according to the modern nutrition, the branch of knowledge concerned with the diet, and it's a science that deals with the adequacy of diet during normal life cycle. And dietary standards are recommended dietary allowances every 5 yearly. This is published. Then recommended nutrient intakes and the recommended daily amount of nutrient. These are the dietary standards. Whenever we plan the diet, we always think about the poshanam. That is, we must know about the classification of food and the nutrition. Sambharam, that is the principles of food. Then karanam, that is the preparation of food. Then swasthya nuvartanam, that is nutrition in growth and the development, as the stages of life are there, from childhood to young age, from neonates to childhood. That is the growth, for the growth purpose, the calcium, iron, other the nutrients they need more. So the nutrition in growth and the development in old aged people also the same. Then Atura Haranam, that is clinical nutrition and the therapeutic dietetics. These are the 5 factors which are important while planning the diet. Now I will take one example, that general flow chart for the OPD based diet planning. Yes, whenever the person comes to us, he or she may be a diseased person or a healthy individual. You should take the history of that patient, conditions as a swastha atura. If you are practicing only the, for example, as a Ayurvedic dietetics practitioner, history taking is important. Then second important thing is a spatial considerations. That is prakriti of that person, agni of that person, koshta, satmya, and desha. Yes. Then the diet recall of whole day. What person takes from morning to evening, the job profile, then what he is taking the food, mess का food लेता है या घर का food लेता है, that diet recall of whole day is very, very important. Then assessing requirement of modification in the diet. Whatever diet the individual is taking, change in that only. Otherwise, don't do like that. If he is habitual with taking the rice and you abruptly telling that don't take rice from tomorrow, it is not possible. So assessing requirement of modification in the diet, then deciding total amount of specific meal as well as the food groups. Again, you should think about the food groups. Then that is protein, carbohydrate, fats, minerals. Then distribution of meals as per the person's routine and the prakriti. Again, that is a sedentary worker or a heavy work routine is there, gym mein jata hai, accordingly the distribution of meal as per the person's routine or the prakriti. then convincing for the essential changes in the diet. If you want to change the diet, then you convince the patient for your health it is important, it is not good. Tell the person about the drawbacks of these things and the good things about what you are prescribing. Then instructions for the pathya and apathya, that is do's and don'ts. Give the instruction about the pathya. Don't change the habitual diet abruptly and completely. Increase awareness about the principles of ahar and good habits related to them. Tell them about the principles of ahar. That is, don't drink water before and abruptly after the meal. Take water after 1 hour. These things. Take sweet first. Keep the distance of 5 to 6 hours between two meals. These are some the diet principles or good habits, and tell them about the good habits and the some Ayurvedic principles and awareness. It will give the awareness about the Ayurvedic principles to the society. Food groups. Food groups, energy providing food, protective food, and the body building food. To ensure the nutritious diet, include one or more food from each of the three food groups in every meal. Then healthy eating plate. We know the USDA retired the food guide pyramid in 2005 and replaced it with the My Pyramid Critics. That symbol was vague and confusing. So in June 2011, the USDA replaced My Pyramid with new and similar icon, that is My Plate. This is My Plate. Vegetable, the portion of vegetable, portion of whole grain, portion of fruits, and portion of healthy protein as well as water and healthy oils. It is explained in a healthy eating plate. Then this is a My Pyramid and the distribution. This is a sample diet chart which I am prescribing in my OPD or IPD. It is such a detail that history of the person is taken about the prakriti, about the koshta and everything. Then after the early in the morning, after wake up to the night, जब तक वो सोता है, सुबह उठने से रात को सोने तक पूरा उसको क्या क्या लेना है. Yes, from lukewarm water up to the night. Do not eat or drink, then eat and drink more. Then snacks to eat, rules while taking the food. It is all explained in this diet chart. So diet chart should be like this. Now the conclusion is that Ayurveda, despite being one of the oldest system of life science, Ayurveda, despite of being oldest system of life science and healthcare, possesses fairly well-developed knowledge based on the food science, with a range of previously unknown dimensions of food science on the one hand, and the number of other unique principles and practices on the other hand, which if combined with today's nutrition, biology, would provide us significant benefits to the contemporary food science and the nutrition. Herbs and spices also play an very important role in Ayurvedic nutrition, for they are used to bring humoral balance in the food. So a pro-nature approach, then holistic consideration, and the personalized dietary planning constitute the basic feature of Ayurvedic conception of dietetics and the nutrition. Features that are unique concept of Ayurvedic nutrition and dietetics are, again, the many unique features are there in a Ayurvedic dietetics and nutrition. Emphasis on the diet planning based on the Ayurveda principles would certainly help in the health promotion to maintain the health of a healthy person and to cure the disease of a disease person we should think for the diet chart, that is healthy diet chart. Thank you. Thank you for the quiet listener. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the amazing and informative session. We will now go ahead to the question and answer session. Shall we begin, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Delegates, please post your questions in the chat box. I repeat, delegates, please post your queries in the chat box. Ma'am, we have a question in the chat box, ma'am. Shall I read that out, ma'am?
There are questions. No, I can't see. 1 minute.
Ma'am, shall I read? I'll read.
Yeah.
What is your take on taking curd daily? We know it's Abhishyandi Guna and it's Virudahara, but
Mhm.
modern consider it as probiotics.
As a yogurt, we know that according to modern science, that is lactobacillus provided by the curd is very important, and so they are prescribing the curd in the. But whenever patients come to us, I told you that whenever patients comes to us, convince him that put some water in that and tell the patient or the individual that how to make a buttermilk of that curd. Use, and again, very interesting thing is that we can, according to the prakriti, you can change the spices in the buttermilk also. Yes, in a vata prakriti, or according to season also. In a vata prakriti, black pepper, sendho, and that is rock salt, and the in a pitta prakriti, candy sugar, then the coriander powder you can use. In a kapha prakriti, dry ginger powder, then again black pepper with a sendho you can use. Sendho you can use in all the three prakritis, as it's a 3 dosha shama. So you convince the patient accordingly and convince them for the buttermilk. According to season also, you can change the spices only, and you can use same buttermilk in the lunch mainly.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, is it good to take sprouts in the morning as breakfast?
This is actually research is carried out on that. That is a biruda, that is a sprouts in a breakfast. According to Ayurveda, it should be steamed. But again, matki, chana, all these sprouts are heavy for the digestion and not good. So I will recommend that mudga, that is green gram, is good for the, and it is recommended that in a ashtaguna manda as well as in a manda kalpana, and that you can use a green gram as a morning breakfast, but not raw. It should be steamed with some spices.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, what kind of diet can we prescribe for high triglyceride? Can they consume milk, curd, tea made of milk?
High triglycerides.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
can have, but again, uh, not a full cream milk. Yes, and mainly whenever we make a tea, it is recommended that take a black tea. Don't mix with a milk, and don't boil more with a milk, or don't boil more tea also. Means in a put tea in a boiled water and keep for the some time, and then you can drink. And again, it is recommended nowadays that green tea or tea, it should not take in a empty stomach. You can take after 1 hour, after the lunch or after the dinner.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, the next question is Madhu is not suggested to be warmed as per Karana Virudha. So daily intake with lukewarm water might become Virutha? Please guide on this, ma'am.
Yes. Actually, in the morning with lukewarm water, honey. But we are not heating honey directly. We are mixing it with a lukewarm water, not in hot water. Huh? With a,
Yes, ma'am.
so you can take it with lukewarm water because you are not heating the honey with water, as per my knowledge.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, should we fry and cook sprouts, or is it good to eat raw sprouts, which is healthier, ma'am?
Means roast or
Uh, Raw sprouts or cooked sprouts?
cooked sprout. Cooked sprout
Okay.
are healthy.
Thank you,
Roast
ma'am.
again, we are roasting it in a oven, so it is overheated. Maybe some nutrients loss is there. In a
Okay.
cooking in a closed panel, if you are cooking, the nutrient loss will be not there.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, can Saindhava Lavana be used as a daily substituent
Yes,
of
yes, yes.
normal salt?
Yes, it is very good because it is a tridosh shamak, and even according to Ayurveda, in every season it is recommended for the Vata shaman and other diseases to prevent the many diseases in swelling. You must. I think we should use a rock salt or Saindavalamak.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I think we have a few participants with questions, hands raised. Shall I unmute them, ma'am?
Yeah.
We have Dr. Surinarayana Patnaik with a question.
Yes, sir.
Madam, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Madam, actually the salt, how much we have to take in a 24 hours of time for better bioavailability? Is there any mandatory sex-wise and age-wise? The clear-cut picture of the salt intake, still we are having confusion, but we are in the chemical world, even in the junk market, tasting salt is very muchly introducing in the eatables. They are causing another side effects. So how we have to come out, how much accurate measurement of salt intake per a person, elderly or in the pediatrics? If the, please, madam.
Just now I told you, sir, according to Ayurveda, the diet is different for every person and it differ according to season also. Yes. So whenever we consider a salt in a growing age, yes, the salt intake is more because because of the exercise, other activities, the salt is waste in a waste product. Yes, in a जैसे पसीना आता है हमें और कुछ इसकी वजह से एंड इन अ प्लेइंग आल्सो सो इन अ growing age it should be, you can consume it more. Again, in a old age, no need to take a more salt. Again, according to prakriti, according to season, in a grishma rutu, yes, in a grishma rutu sweating is more, so you need more salt, obviously. And but in a daily diet, it should be in a vegetable or whatever you want. In a fast food nowadays, we are eating more salt. It is not good for our health. Yes, because nowadays that pizza and what many things are there for the preservation purpose also they are using more salt, which is not good for our health. So whatever the food needed in the cooking, that much is sufficient, I think, for us. No need to take it outside. Even again, disease wise it differs, as according in some diseases, in a kidney disorders or if there is a edema, if there is a swelling in liver, some liver disorders, it is recommended the less salt, and it should be given according to that. Any questions, sir?
Madam, actually WHO guidelines 3 grams per day, they strictly mentioned, because WHO universally, the
Yes.
organization thinks universally, but
But it is-
Kalamana, Desamana, they don't think, but universally they meant 3 grams in a day for elderly people for better bioavailability of
But
usage of
even,
salt.
sir,
Even in Raktachapa and creatinine raised cases, there are more complications are arising by using of the salt, and
Yes.
alguria and all these complications are arising. So it is time to learn more about the intake of salt, and sometimes salt overuse leads to early aging and skin elasticity also
Yes.
getting loose,
Yes.
and all these things are arising. People
So Ayurveda recommend always Sendho namak, sir. Sendho salt. Yes.
Okay.
And second thing in Ayurveda, if they are telling about the 3 grams, but whenever their products are coming in India, MACD and all these things, they are not following the same rule. According to WHO, it is there, that is 3 gram, and it is not possible for the layman to count it 3 gram for one person. If we are cooking the meal for 6 person, then it is not possible to use that much salt. So we should think according to the prakriti. You can tell one thing, that is, we are using the pickles, na? So the ready-made pickles hai, usko kam use karo. That can be a option. Pickles hai, whatever the preservatives they are using, ready-made food, that should not be consumed. So whenever patients come to us, there should be awareness. Yes, we should tell them that why it is not good for your health. And in Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav, therefore we are conducting this lecture series of the Ahar, and to promote the awareness amongst the common people.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, doctor.
Thank
Next,
you,
we
sir.
have Dr. Akshita Pramod with a question.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Thank you for the detailed and wonderful explanation regarding diet. I have 2 questions, ma'am. One is regarding the cooking oil.
Yes.
Nowadays, we see many people are switching to wood-pressed, cold-pressed oils, and we are very much confused when patients ask, and even for our personal use also. What is your idea about whether peanut oil is healthy, sunflower oil?
Yes.
We get n number of oils nowadays. So,
Yes.
what is your suggestion?
Actually, from the research, it is finding come out that we should change our oil, because in our oil there is a PUFA, MUFA, saturated fat, unsaturated fat, and all the polyunsaturated, monounsaturated, saturated, unsaturated, all these fats are essential for our body. Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
some oils containing PUFA, some oils are containing MUFA, some contain both MUFA and PUFA. So there are 3 options, ma'am. You can change your oil. Yes.
You mean to say repeatedly we need to change our oils?
Yes. Repeatedly you should change your oil.
Okay.
Groundnut oil, sunflower oil, rice bran oil, safflower oil, all these oil you should, and cold compress oil, whatever coming nowadays, this in this market, this is good rather than using the packets oil. Or there is again one option, third thing, you can mix 2 oil together for cooking, soybean and sunflower, or groundnut and sunflower, or the sesame oil with other oils, like that. Means you will get all the PUFA, MUFA, saturated and unsaturated in a proper quantity.
Okay, ma'am, you mean for a particular dish preparation, we can use both the oil in the same food for this?
You,
Okay, but
we
the
are
properties
using
are different, ma'am.
we are using that, na? Some
Okay,
people are
okay.
using sunflower, some people are using groundnut, some people are using so all these oils they are using. So you can mix it and use it.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
To get all
So
the
you mean to say cold pressed is better when
better.
compared to the refined oil?
Obviously, in a ancient in old age, we are using only that oil, na?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Oxidized oil.
Yeah, because everyone cannot afford that. That was the main reason, as they are expensive.
That is the thing. So
Yeah.
best way is that use oil in a small quantity. Second thing, don't fry more. Don't heat it more. Then
Okay,
nowadays it is a fad coming that they are using olive oil. I think it is in India there is no need to use the olive oil, because olive oil, yes, because sesame oil is best. Whenever we consider in Ayurveda, there is a oil, there is a sesame oil.
Sesame oil. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. And one more question, ma'am, regarding sugar and use of jaggery. Nowadays, people are they are avoiding sugar. They are using brown sugar or jaggery. What is your call on this?
According to me, jaggery is a always better option than the sugar, because white sugar is not good for our health, and I think no need, because nowadays for us actually we are a sedentary worker, and sugar and whenever but it is not like that ki, you can sparingly use the jaggery if you are eating the jaggery. It should be in a proper quantity. The quantity is there, and I think the natural sugars, whenever we are getting from the fruits or from the jaggery, it is better option than the white sugar, obviously.
Okay, ma'am. But that is sharkara is good. That also is mentioned in our
That
class.
sharkara is a sita. That is a candy sugar.
Oh, candy. Okay, ma'am. Now I got it.
Candy
so
sugar, that is a sharkara. Whenever in Ayurveda sharkara comes, it is for the candy sugar, for the sita. Sugar. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Not for this white sugar.
Okay. Thank you so much for clearing the doubts, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, doctor.
Is any question?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, please tell us regarding the scope of the subject in foreign countries after completion of BAMS.
Yes. I think in Ayurveda, this is a very important subject in foreign countries for the practice. Yes, because at least we target Indian people. Yes, in a foreign, in a USA, wherever you are going. So at least for the taste, for the spices, for these variations, Indian food is always good. But therefore, in my lecture, I told you that you must know the modern dietetics rule and their all the recommendations. You should follow that, because otherwise your diet will not be fulfilled. Use all the dietary principles from the Ayurveda, Indian food, but that should be fulfilled according to the dietary analysis. And you can give the diet. You can practice. You can practice as a yoga practitioner, as a gym practitioner. For there, you can at least you can target healthy people, obese people, diabetes people, and you can recommend a diet as a Ayurvedic dietetics. And for the, I think in some countries there, that course is mandatory to take a course from there, that on the diet and nutrition, clinical nutrition, some courses are there, public health. So you can take the degree from there and use the principles of Ayurveda in that. You can practice.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, please explain the role of Dhatu-Agni and Bhuta-Agni in hormonal imbalance. Few examples of diet for hormonal imbalance in teens.
Yes. In hormones, actually, this concept is not explained in Ayurveda, but in a micro level, if we go for the micro level, the Dhatuvagni and Bhutagni plays a very important role. Means whenever your diet is correct, yes, we will take the example of salt. Just now, sir told about. Nowadays, very common problem. Two problems are very common in India. There I don't know, but here I am practicing. And one is a hypothyroidism, and second one is a PCOD. Yes. So the in a hypothyroidism, the main cause they are telling that iodine deficiency in a salt wherever. But I think in a hormonal level, when we see that nowadays we are using the RO water, and when I took the history of the patient, it is found that the RO water is also responsible for the hypothyroidism. Again, in a that what was your question about the on the hormonal level? No?
Yes, ma'am. Hormonal imbalance.
Hormonal imbalance in PCOD. In PCOD, main cause is a metabolism. Yes, that is a Dhatvagni and Bhutagni. Dhatvagni. Yes, means आपका your metabolism is not good, so your the portion you are not getting it properly. And when study in my college, we conducted the for my PG student in PCOD, we just used Ashtaguna Manda as in a breakfast. Yes, in Ashtaguna Manda, there are 8 ingredients, that is moong dal, rice, then asafoetida, black pepper, saindo, then trikatu, suntha mire, and long pepper. Yes, so we gave, we standardized first that, and we gave the ready to cook sachets to the patients. Yes, and in 3 months it is really improved with the with one group only with Ashtaguna Manda and one group with Ashtaguna Manda and the Surya Namaskar. So if we improve the diet, the hormonal even in adrenals, yes, nowadays in a PCOD, in adrenal dysfunction, in a hypothyroidism, we are prescribing the diet on that concept, that is Dhatvagni and the Bhutagni.
मैम ये कंटेंट्स रिपीट करो ना अष्टगुण मंडल के.
अष्टगुण मंडल के that is rice,
okay,
मूंग दाल, asafoetida, हिंग,
okay.
then त्रिकटु.
पीपर बोले ना मैम, आप पीपर बोले ना.
हाँ, ब्लैक पेपर बोला तो त्रिकटु हो गया. फिर सैंधव,
ओके,
ड्राई जिंजर और सीसम ऑयल.
और ये मॉर्निंग ब्रेकफास्ट है मैम.
मॉर्निंग ब्रेकफास्ट we standardize that. Standardization process भी है. I will share the paper with you. When paper
या
is
मैम वो शेयर करो ना मैम.
now it is not there. I will share to the organizer. Yes.
Okay.
The clinical study as well as the standardization process also. And it helps. It helps. Only by using the spices in a hormonal imbalance, that is on the that works on your Dhatvagni, Bhutagni, as well as from macro to micro level, but in a sufficient quantity. Spices you should you can use in a specific quantity according to prakriti and according to season. In a cooking process also, you can use that.
Ma'am, please share it.
Yes.
Share करना मैम ये.
हाँ. Yes. Sure. I share. Sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Any question?
Ma'am, we know dadi is also not to be used warmed. It can cause rakta, dushti, etc.
Yeah.
But many dishes are prepared with curd being warmed with other ingredients. What is your take on this, ma'am?
No, it is not recommended. Actually, it is not recommended. Yes. One thing, one is in India, very common dish is a curry, that they are preparing the buttermilk, adding with chana flour in that, and again they are preparing with the help of that. It is used, but many people have a problem with that, because in a acid, in a amla pitta, or in a skin disorders, or for to prevent the amla pitta and to prevent the skin disorders, we should not use the heat curd. As well as nowadays that ready-made spices are coming. We are mixing that spices in a milk, and again we are making a curry or sabji with that. It is also not good for our health. Whatever you are preparing, prepare it at home only.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, next we have Dr. Anita with a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Anita.
She's there, no?
Sorry, ma'am. I think we lost her.
No, she's there and unmute.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. She's there, ma'am. Dr. Anita, can you hear us? Dr. Anita?
You can put your question in a chat box also.
Yes, doctor. Please do share your query in the chat box. Yes, ma'am. We have the question, ma'am.
Yes, Dr. Meenal.
मैम थोड़ा ड्राई फ्रूट्स के ऊपर थोड़ा हाईलाइट्स करो ना कि वो कब लेना चाहिए और कैसे लेना चाहिए.
हाँ, dry fruits, no? Dry fruits, again, I told you one point about the habituation. Yes, habituation is one thing. Second thing is on your Agni. How is your Agni? And according to Prakriti also, dry fruits are divided. Dry fruits mainly जो है, mainly we are recommended that almond, then black raisins. Yes, manuka in the part of, and the other some dry fruits we can have it at in the morning, especially in the morning in a empty stomach, or with some preparations we are using it, like paisam. We are making a paisam. It is good for the Agni. Agar aapka acha hai, then you can have it. Again, if you have any problem like amla pitta or other disorders, or you pitta prakriti, then avoid the dry fruits like जैसे काजू है, फिर पिस्ता है, ये इसको अवॉइड करना है. स्पेरिंगली यू कैन यूज द रेजिन्स, ब्लैक रेजिन्स मेनली, ब्लैक मनुका जो है वो आप ज्यादा यूज करो. और whenever you are taking a dry, having a dry fruit, soak it properly, because it is good, it is easy for the digestion also, and after soak you can have it.
Ma'am, overnight soaking?
Overnight soaking is better.
Okay.
Overnight soaking is better. but in a recommended quantity only again.
And what about fruits, ma'am?
Fruits you should take in always empty stomach. Avoid it at night. Again, according to Prakriti also fruits are divided. But best option is that take a seasonal fruit. Whatever in that season in your desha, in your area, which fruits are growing, that fruits you can have. That is a best option. Nowadays, all fruits are available in all season, but in that season, in that area, which fruits are in a large quantity, it is available, have that fruit that is suitable for us. But according to Prakriti, again, the citrus fruit, if you have any diabetes problem, then some fruits are avoided. In a diabetes, always avoid the fruits. But in small children, in old aged people, and avoid the fruit juice. Only in a patients, don't those who can't take it the whole fruit, then only the option is a fruit juice. Otherwise, take a whole fruit.
मैम there is a particular time for the citrus fruits और banana, ऐसा कुछ particular time होता है कि 2 मील के बीच में आपको बनाना लेना है? ऐसा कुछ होता है मैम?
यस, बनाना अगर आपको लेना है ना, तो एक बार आपने कुछ भी खाना खाया, यस, एक बार जो भी खाना खाया उसके 3 घंटे तक आपको कुछ नहीं लेना है, चाहे वो फ्रूट्स भी हो. आफ्टर 3 आवर्स आप ले सकते हो. मीन्स आपने अगर सुबह ब्रेकफास्ट 8 बजे लिया है तो 11-12 बजे आप फ्रूट्स ले सकते हो, या दोपहर में 1 बजे खाना खाया है तो 5 या 6 बजे आप फ्रूट्स ले सकते हो. लेकिन खाना खाने के तुरंत बाद फ्रूट लेना, दैट इज ऑल्सो रॉन्ग, बिकॉज यू विल नॉट गेट ऑल द न्यूट्रिएंट्स. फूड के साथ जो भी आपको न्यूट्रिएंट्स मिलने हैं फ्रूट्स के, वो सारे विटामिन वगैरह आपको नहीं मिलेंगे.
और साइट्रस फ्रूट मॉर्निंग में ही लेना है मैम?
साइट्रस फ्रूट्स कभी भी, मैंने बोला सीजनल, अकॉर्डिंग टू द सीजन. मॉर्निंग, अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग कोई भी फ्रूट नहीं लेना है. ड्राई फ्रूट्स यू कैन हैव आफ्टर द ब्रेकफास्ट 2 आवर्स के बाद, खाना खाने के 3 आवर्स के बाद आप ले सकते हैं साइट्रस फ्रूट्स. और जूस नहीं, ज्यादातर नहीं रिकमेंड करते हम लोग, बिकॉज टेक अ फ्रूट एज इट इज, बिकॉज फाइबर्स आर आल्सो नेसेसरी टू क्लीन आवर इंटेस्टाइन. And again, citrus fruit is not recommended in a पित्त प्रकृति. पित्त प्रकृति में ज्यादा साइट्रस फ्रूट हम नहीं रिकमेंड करते हैं. Then again, kapha disorders are there, kapha prakriti is there, season is like that. Then at that time आपने थोड़ा सोच समझ के साइट्रस फ्रूट्स को देना है. 12 months एप्पल आते हैं तो एप्पल खाना ही है. An apple a day keeps a doctor away. Not like that.
और ड्राई फ्रूट्स एम्प्टी स्टमक ले सकते हैं मैम? बिफोर
ड्राई फ्रूट्स एम्प्टी स्टमक ले सकते हो, बिकॉज इट इज हेवी फॉर द डाइजेशन. यू कैन हैव मेनली जो भी ड्राई फ्रूट्स है, इसको भी थोड़ा सा कॉम्बिनेशन के साथ अगर लेते हो तो इट इज गुड. जैसे आलमंड और इसके साथ अखरोट और बादाम के साथ आप काला मनुका को ऐड कर दो थोड़ा सा, तो वो ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा. इट विल बैलेंस. सेम थिंग इन लंच ऑल्सो. व्हेनेवर यू कुक, जैसे आप राइस लेते हो तो एक टाइम राइस लेते हो और एक टाइम अगर आप कोई भी रोटी लेते हो, तो विथ व्हीट यू शुड ऐड अदर फ्लोर्स. यस, जैसे ज्वार के साथ बाजरा है, ज्वार के साथ रागी है, so you will get the macronutrients like iron, calcium, all these things with the food only.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I hope the doubt was cleared. Next,
Yes,
we
cleared.
have
Any question, ma'am? Dr. Minal, ma'am?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, next we have Dr. Hina with a question.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the insightful talk today. I was the one asking for the hormonal imbalance question. Will you please share your contact details for any future communications?
Yes, ma'am. I will
Thank
share.
you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, we have few more questions, ma'am. We have the question from Dr. Anita. Can we combine oil and ghee for cooking?
What?
Can we combine?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I'll
Again,
repeat,
please
ma'am.
again ask question.
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Can we combine oil and ghee for cooking?
No. Oil and ghee for cooking. Actually, ghee is not for a cooking person. Don't hit ghee more. We should take ghee because boiling point of ghee is very low. So जैसे हम घी और ऑयल को ज्यादा हीट करते हैं तो it is not good for our health.
Okay,
so don't mix oil and ghee together. Boiling point of oil is more and boiling point of ghee is less.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Minal, ma'am. Any question? One question is there in chat box. Is it good?
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay. Ma'am, by soaking dry fruits, is there any loss of its nutritional value?
Yes.
Ma'am, the question is, by soaking dry fruits, is there any loss of its nutritional value?
Yes, because whatever the main first thing is, it is easy for the digestion, and second thing is, well, whatever the nutrients there in the outer covering of the dry fruit, that is soaked inside, and that is easy for the digestion. So soaking of dry fruit is better. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Because nutrients are there in the covering also, in vegetables, in dry fruits. So that nutrients, you will get all the nutrients from the cover, as well as it is easy for the digestion.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. How much quantity of black resins can we take without soaking? How much quantity of black resin can we take without soaking?
Without soaking or with soaking, quantity again how much gram of your black resin is there, but normally 8 to 10 resins you can have. अगर आपको डायबिटीज नहीं है तो हाँ.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, is the combination of milk and banana good?
No, it is viruddha according to Ayurveda. Because banana is also heavy for the digestion, as well as milk is also heavy for the digestion. If we mix it to our Agni Manda will be there, and it can be a reason for the skin disease.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Nowadays in the gym, they are always recommended that banana shake, but it is not, according to Ayurveda, it is a viruddha ahar.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, should we remove the outer covering of almonds after soaking or eat with the outer covering?
Yes, yes. I think, means according to me, outer covering should be removed because it can disturb for the absorption. And already the covering nutrients are absorbed in the almond if you soaked it. So use it by removing the covering.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, do we need to drink the water in which the dry fruits are soaked?
Yes, you can have. Before soaking, if you wash it with the warm water proper, and after you are soaking the or dry fruits in that water, you can have that water. That is good. That nutrients will not lose.
Okay, ma'am.
Mainly
Thank you,
of the
ma'am.
black resins, manuka.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I think that's it for the questions. So shall we conclude, ma'am?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the interactive session. I enjoyed it.
Thank you very much,
I
ma'am.
enjoyed the session.
Now, yes, ma'am.
If you have
Thank you,
any
ma'am.
queries, you can ask me.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
मैम
Now,
प्लीज वो
I request.
राष्ट्रमंडल वाला आपने जो बोला ना मैम वो शेयर करना.
Yes, 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 ma'am. Sure, sure. I will share with you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now, I request Dr. Tulya Mohandas, Vice Principal, Ayurveda College, Coimbatore, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Ayurveda College, Coimbatore, and the entire team of DIKSHA, I take this as my privilege to extend my gratitude to Dr. Mrudul ma'am for giving such a wonderful session on dietetics, which is very important nowadays and which has lot of scope even in outside India. And I'm pretty sure that everyone has got benefited out of this. So again, last but not the least, I say my thanks to all the participants to patiently participating in all the webinars. And madam, thank you so much for patiently answering all the questions. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, one and all. Have a great evening. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am. It's the province of knowledge to speak, and it's a privilege of wisdom to listen. Thank you all for the patient listening and valuable time spent. For the next session, we have Dr. Ankita Vasisht, Assistant Professor, Department of Dravya Guna, Divya Jyoti Ayurvedic Medical College and Hospital, Uttar Pradesh, discussing the topic Vriksha Ayurveda. Once again, thank you, ma'am. To know more about our updates, please do stay connected with our social media platforms. That's all for today's most interesting session, with a lot of new information for us to close our eyes with thought-provoking knowledge. Thank you all for joining us. Once again, thank you.